Hi, it's Dan here from Flexxable, and today we're going to talk about 3 fast AI hacks that are going to increase the contact rate of your leads or your clients' leads. Let's dive in. Okay, so what's been going on over inside my agency at the moment is that we've been heavily trying to sell, or not even trying really, it's selling itself, database reactivation with our sales Android, okay? We use ChatGPT to qualify and close leads, and then we send them over to clients, and we get paid 50% of the gross sales for that privilege. But as we've been kind of closing clients and having conversations with them, by the way, we've landed a 300,000 person database in the financial services, and I've just closed another one this afternoon for 80,000 in the business loan industry, 70,000 actually, and we're doing some stuff in the Eco4 industry over here in the UK with a decent sized database there too. If you want to find out more about how we're doing that, there's a video here which you can click and go check out, right? But as I was saying, because we're working closely with these clients and we're starting to map out how it's all kind of going to come together and how we're going to get the leads from their old database to be reinvigorated and come back and close for their offer. We don't really negotiate with the clients on what we're going to do, because I like to be the chooser when it comes with who I work with, and I want them to know who is in charge of all of this marketing type stuff. All right, it's not them. They close, we'll do the marketing. So as we've been planning the campaign for them, and we've been figuring out what our SMS message is to get the campaign chatting to us, and what the process is from getting the lead from conversation through to appointment or webhook over to their dialer or whatever. We've been looking deeply into what hacks we use or what little things we do to be able to increase the contact rates. These kind of tips can be used for database reactivation, but they can also be used for fresh leads that are coming in from Facebook ads or Google or whatever, okay? And the first one I'm going to talk about is a conversational question to get the lead to respond after they opt into something called after we send an SMS. So if it's a database reactivation, we want to send this SMS. And if it's an opt-in from a lead form or whatever, then we want to ask a question straight away that gets them to converse with us, and then their AI stuff takes over. Okay, so it's super important, this first question, and you've probably heard me talk about binary questions before, and having an easy to answer yes, no. For those of you who drive traffic to a quiz funnel, okay, on a landing page, you want to have a very simple binary question there that's super easy to answer. Same goes with what happens when people come into a CRM and they get that first SMS. Okay, it has to be simple, it has to be conversational. A lot of people might say stuff like, hey, it's Dan here from Flexxable. Thanks so much for contacting us about life insurance. When is a good time to get a call back? You know, that's the way most people do it, okay? But we don't want to do that yet. We want to come up with a question that's easy to answer to get them to respond, and then we can worry about moving them to their appointment later. So for life insurance or for any niche, it could be something as simple as, hey, Joe, it's Dan here from XYZ Life Insurance. Is this your correct number? And of course it is, because they've opted in. And if they're answering this question, then obviously it is their right number, okay? But it's a really good way to get great response rates. And there's plenty of other examples of what you can do. You just need to get creative around it, but that's one, okay? And then once you have the conversation started, it's like a snowball effect of micro commitments. It just snowballs after that, okay? Because then you've got them. And especially if you've got AI hooked up to the client CRM or using high level or whatever way you want to do it, it's a really easy way to convert them to an appointment or whatever, right? So my first kind of AI tip is to get a conversation started rather than trying to sell the service during that very first stage of contact. Super important, and it makes a big difference, okay? We generally look for a 60% contact rate on average across the industries with that first message that goes out. With databases, it's a bit different, but with fresh leads, 60%. With databases, we look around 30%, 20 to 30% with that first SMS. And you know, when we're doing a 300,000 person SMS list or blast, which we wouldn't do it all in one go, by the way, then that's a lot of conversations, okay? A lot of prospects that are looking for that particular offer. Super simple, super easy tip, and you should give it a go if you have got kind of automations and things going on in the background. The second thing that we do, which helps increase the contact rates, is not necessarily AI related, it's kind of workflow related, okay? We call them SMS bumps, all right? And it's to be added on after the first question that I just spoke to you about. And the messaging is very important as well, okay? So you've got the first message that goes out and you do that well, you get the conversation started, but you're only at 50% contact rate. How can you get that next 10? Well, the next 10% you can get with SMS bumps. You can set them up to go out 15 minutes after the first message was sent, maybe another hour after that, and you can just keep going for as long as you want before they tell you to stop, okay? I wouldn't go probably more than 3 or 4 messages, but what you say is important, all right? You want to keep it informal and like the message is coming from, a real person, okay? So you can use kind of very colloquial language and informal stuff rather than being all life insurance-y and brokery and all kind of professional or whatever. So an example we use in our own stuff is, dang, have I been ghosted? I don't know whether you'd use that for someone contacting someone about life insurance, but it's kind of stuff that I would say to my brother if I was messaging him and he wasn't getting back to me. So try and put your kind of informal hat on and have short, sharp little SMS bumps here, which are going to help the person get back because they believe that it's like a human on the back of it, okay? Even though it isn't, it's a little bit cheeky, but it really does work, okay? So that's my second tip, is the SMS bumps work super well. The third AI hack to increase contact rates is something that's a little bit different to what people might usually experience in the marketing world. It's all about appointments, right? But from my experience, when you get to the big clients, the ones that have got call centers and are just churn through the leads, they don't have their own appointment set up in Google or Calendar or whatever, right, like that is, right? It just doesn't work that way. A lot of people are obsessed with going from lead to appointment ratios, whatever that is, right? But you actually lose a lot between having the lead come in, conversing with it with AI, and then dropping a calendar link, okay? Then you have to worry about show up rates, you have to worry about lead to appointment ratio. There's a lot of different factors that you can optimize, that you have to optimize to make that work properly. And most of the time, the big clients don't want it. They just want the lead coming straight in when it's ready and going straight to the dialer so the lead can be called, or they can be called at a time that the lead requests. So the way we do it is we have a tag and we webhook it over to the client's CRM, which goes to the top of their dialer, and they can just call a lead immediately, okay? There's no funky kind of appointment stuff going on, all right? I've got no idea how Jamie does it, but Jamie's my tech guy that builds it out, but what we can also build is the ability for AI to understand when the client wants the call back, okay, without having any kind of manual stuff going on. If they say they want to call back now, it is sent over to the client's CRM in the correct format, which means that the person's ready to dial now. If they say, I'm looking for tomorrow at 3 p.m., then you can do the same thing without having to get the ELIZA bot or whatever set up if you use high level. For those of you who use high level, you know what I mean. All right, so there is ways to do it that's much faster and much more efficient than the old way of doing things, which is what most of us marketers have experienced, either selling for their clients or selling for themselves. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed these 3 tips today. They should be pretty obvious to you and pretty fast to implement, and I really hope they can make a difference to what you're doing. If you've got any questions, please comment below. I'm sure you might have some. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe to our channel. And by the way, we have a tool called the Sales Android, the Any Niche Sales Android, okay, which does a lot of the stuff that I was talking about on today's video. There'll be a link in the description which gives it away for free. You can find out how it works. You can experiment with it, have a go, do what you want to do. You'll really enjoy it. It's really good stuff. Okay, I'll speak to you later.